Welcome to our podcast where we contemplate the dynamics that get in the way of you living true to you.
And this week we're going to focus on sensitivity, in particular being sensitive to the needs of others. And this quality of sensitivity is such a beautiful human trait. It's what makes us human, the ability to care, to look and notice that there's someone other than yourself, the ego and everything that we get wrapped up in. And, this is an outer looking at the other and being able to be sensitive to their needs, the needs for food, shelter, as well as spiritual support. So just really being sensitive, and you might find yourself being sensitive to the needs of others in this coming week.
And that sensitivity comes also with the awareness of what the other thinks about you, whether they accept you or reject you.
Yes.
So the combination of being sensitive to the needs of what somebody else needs and the sensitivity of what they think about you or whether they support you or not comes up with a challenge or gives birth to the challenge of us thinking that when we help them, when we are nice to them, when we do what they need us to do, that they will accept us and love us and support us more than when we're not. And what happens is that we start putting their needs, their desires, their wants before our own and before our own awareness of what we actually can contribute in the situation. And what happens that the natural interdependence that we have with each other turns into codependence, where we need the other to need us so that we are feeling safe, that we will be loved. And that doesn't usually create something that is bringing forth that authentic living. It actually gets in the way because you're constantly overriding your own awareness, your own needs for the other.
All based in whether you're accepted or not. And so when you can accept and love and know who you are, you can come with this presence, like Sabina was talking about, the presence to know how you can contribute rather than it being on autopilot or an addiction to always having to help. And this is where you want to ask yourself, is my help helpful? Is it really helpful? We turn into just autopilot and we just go into putting out the fires, helping the need, helping, giving money, doing this, doing that. And then we're bereft of our own need and our own sense of self.
And to bust this pattern, what is required is that you're willing to feel uncomfortable.
Right?
It feels uncomfortable when you see what somebody else needs or what you could do to help them out and to not jump in with autopilot.
So I just want to say, there's an example that we had yesterday. We always have cups of morning tea, and I was just going through like a rough time. And I was speaking that out, and I just kind of needed to get out my feelings. And Sabina, I could feel her pull to wanting to help, wanting to give advice and all of that. And I just needed to vent and to be able to speak and find my own way. And that was she could just open her heart then. She didn't have to come from her head with a great solution. She could come from her heart and just be there for me. And that was actually meeting my need rather than her going into kind of a knee-jerk habit of wanting to help.
And that can be challenging when somebody is struggling or suffering, whom you love, whom you care for. But sometimes that's the biggest gift, to just be present, to love them and be present with them in that loving energy. And then there might be something that you can contribute. But what that requires is you feeling enough, you feeling confident in who you are. And when you're so focused on the other all the time, you forget who you are. You don't even know who is you, who are you? And that brings you into a deepening of that, getting to know yourself. And that also means sometimes being uncomfortable, not immediately fixing things, correcting them, solving problems. It is about being present with yourself as well as the other. So just perceive that energy of something not being perfect, whether that is with yourself or with another person. That turmoil, that, there's a need, there's a suffering, there's a struggle. And just perceive that energy and just be present with that. Allow yourself to be present right now with that dynamic of, there's something not quite working, not quite right. There's suffering, there's struggle. Just allow yourself to be present without having to fix it. Connecting with yourself and the fullness of you. And open your heart. Allow your love, your loving, your presence to be enough.
Enough for you, enough for them.
And perceive how that creates a space in which something totally different can unfold. Versus being on the hamster wheel of constantly having to fix it, solve it, make it better, change it. Yeah. This is a space in which true interconnectedness can unfold, where we both, or all parts of the picture, come from abundance, even when we struggle, versus the lack and the constant need to be confirmed, affirmed, and loved.
And really find the value in being you, right? Valuing yourself. Then do you need outside confirmation? Not when you really value who you are and what you're all about.
And the truth is, some people will like you and love you and just adore you no matter what you do, and other people won't. And this week we invite you to contemplate the willingness to feel uncomfortable, your need to be needed, almost the addiction to be needed, to look for that confirmation, that acceptance of the other, versus being present with what the other actually needs, what you need, and then coming from that space of different possibilities, which sometimes means that you do speak and contribute and help solve a problem, and sometimes it just means that you just open your heart, be present, smile and nod, and just be present with what is. So play with that. Play with being uncomfortable and not having to jump in right away.
Yeah. So this week, sensitivity. You're going to be sensitive. Probably if you're not sensitive, you'll notice it in other people being sensitive to others. And so just watch, be the observer, and hang back a little bit. If your go-to MO is always to jump in and solve problems, the need to be needed.
And of course, if you are interested in deepening that understanding of who you are and that knowing of who you are and your creative genius, we have this great workbook that is on sale right now till January 31st that will help you to really explore that part of you that knows, that goes beyond the mind, that is actually that, which helps you to bring forth different possibilities in your life.
So have fun with that, and we will see you next time. Same place, same channel. Okay, bye for now.
Bye.